Hi, my name is Aric Schneller, and I'm a proud member of the Houston Jazz Orchestra trombone section, and I'm the Director of Jazz Studies at Sam Houston State University. I like to lead off with the Region Blues Improv, and this is based on the tune Billie's Bounce by Charlie Parker. Tips and tricks for Region F Blues. I'm sure you've heard many times before from your teachers and from friends and colleagues, it's important to learn the jazz language, and we call those jazz licks over blues or over 2-5-1 chord progressions in either major or minor keys. So I'd like to share with you some of the licks that I played today on the F Blues 2 choruses of the solo. The first lick I played was a blues lick. So many great blues licks out there that cover the blues scale, and I started high on a high C, but you can go an octave lower. The next lick on measure 3 and 4 is I turned it into a 2-5 chord progression, C minor 7 to F7 going to B flat, and here's what it sounds like. Interesting, on that C minor 7 chord, I did a chromatic approach tone to the C. That's a pretty classic technique, and it's any of these licks that I'm sharing with you today have been played by many, many jazz musicians, and they're a great way to negotiate the changes, or as we like to say, thread the changes. The next lick is kind of a double time feel lick on the B flat 7 chord in measure 6. So it's like this. That's what it sounds like. Just a double time feel lick, right? And it covers what is interposes a B diminished 7 chord that's in parentheses from the original changes to Billie's Bounce by Charlie Parker. So I superimposed that. And it gives a lot of great alterations over the dominant chord. The next lick is kind of a classic lick, a 2-5-1 progression on G minor 7 to C7. And that's in measure 13 and 14. Again, a lot of these licks I've taken from other players, and that negotiates the 2-5. Of course, right before that, in measure 12 going to measure 13, you have the minor 2-5 lick going into G minor. And that's a pretty classic lick as well. I do that other lick on the cycling dominance going to the second chorus. I do that 2-5 lick going into measures in measure 17. Here we go. Now, into the second chorus, I break out and do a rhythmic hemiola that takes you through several bars, for 4 bars actually, and it's just going down steps and half steps, and you'll hear these steps and half steps of fifths. So it's another way to negotiate the changes. Now, last but not least, I use direct quotes from the melody to end my solo of Billie's Bounce. So measure 22 and 23. And then, towards the end, measure 25 to the end, I play the melody right out. So, in playing a solo, we have scales, we have arpeggios, we have actual jazz licks that thread the changes that many players have used that we need to learn and use and then expand upon. And then we also quote from melodies of tunes, and this one specifically from Billie's Bounce. I hope you enjoyed these tips, and I hope it helps you with Regent Blues.